Defender actually had a soundtrack, I'm pretty sure this would be it. It just puts me in a good mood to blow up some aliens. Here in Defender on the Colecovision. And if you hear any audio static in the background, that's static from the recording tape itself. We lay these old games onto VHS, and every now and then the mischievous electronic hi-fi VCR bandits strike and wreak havoc with our recording equipment, as Classic Game Room uses no emulators. We play all of the video games that we review on the actual game consoles themselves, and use a variety of recording methods. Defender is one of the most iconic video games ever created, released in the arcades in 1980 and developed by Eugene Jarvis. Few people have had as much influence over video games as Mr. Jarvis, the creator of Defender, Robotron 2084, and numerous other arcade games that remain many players' favorites to this day. It's been a long time since I've played Defender in the arcades, but this version on the ColecoVision is about the best that you're going to find for an old-school video game system from the early 1980s. Defender is easy to find now on other consoles. I must have 2 or 3 of them laying around for the PlayStation somewhere. However, this old-school ColecoVision version is pretty cool. If you've never played Defender before, let me explain what's going on. This is not just a super old version of Gradius or Thunder Force. Defender is much different, and equally fun. This game does not need fancy graphics or weapons power-ups to be an awesome game. You're flying a spaceship, and your job is to blow up as many alien bad guys as you can to score points, while saving humans along the way. Kind of like Rowdy Roddy Piper in They Live, but with a spaceship. There's numerous alien bad guys, and they all have cool names. There's pods, swarmers, baiters, landers. The landers are the green ones that descend to the bottom of the screen and kidnap humans. Then they fly to the top of the screen and turn into mutants. You can shoot a lander if it's carrying a human, and then the human will fall to the ground. You have to be careful, though, to shoot the lander and not both of them, or else the lander and human will explode. Any humans falling to the ground can be caught by your spaceship, and then gently placed upon the ground so as to not squash the human. You can also choose to not save the falling, screaming human. Or if you're engaged in a gun battle with aliens, you may just not have the chance to save them, in which case they usually don't survive the impact. You're awarded bonus points at the end of each round for the amount of humans remaining. What you just saw there was me deploying my smart bomb, which will wipe out all of the enemies on screen, but not their gunfire. You can still run into shots that the aliens have fired. When playing this game with the ColecoVision controller, the left button will fire your laser beam, the right button deploys the smart bombs. Many people, like myself, actually grew up playing Defender and loving Defender on the Atari 2600. And the Atari 2600 version of Defender was dramatically different to this and to the arcade original. The mountain landscape that you see was replaced with this vague cityscape. And since the Atari only had one button to use the smart bombs, you flew to the bottom of the screen. I find the ColecoVision version to be an easier version of Defender than what I'm used to. It's fairly easy to earn extra lives, so when you're racking up points and saving lots of humans, you tend to get lots of bonus ships, which makes the game go on for a long period of time, which is a lot of fun. Defender games on the ColecoVision can take a while. I find the Atari version much more challenging, and I haven't played the arcade game in a while, but as I understand it, it's much more challenging to take your quarters from you. I wish that the Colecovision version had a difficulty setting like you'll find in many other games, like Gorf, for instance. I'm playing this with the stock Colecovision controller, which I like for games like Frogger and Q*bert, but I can't stand it for Defender, because in Defender you're constantly firing and using smart bombs when you get into a tight spot. And if you've seen my Colecovision controller review, I just don't care for the design of the controller. It's very difficult to play for long periods of time, especially when you're wasting aliens. The next time I play this, I'm using my Atari 7800 gamepad, the European one. You can play Defender on Xbox Live Arcade, and the Williams disc that I've used for games like Joust and Robotron 2084 for my PlayStation reviews also has Defender. I have it on Atari 2600, and I think that Defender has inspired so many other video games. And to me, Defender is one of the purest arcade games out there. If you like games like Robotron 2084, Asteroids, Pong, Defender is on that level of simplicity, but in making things simple, it's frequently more challenging. And for that, I give Mr. Jarvis and the team that created this game an immense amount of credit. Because 30 years after Defender was released, it is every bit as fun as it was when it was brand new. We'll take a look at a number of the other versions of Defender here on Classic Game Room, because that's the kind of stuff we do here. If you've never played it, you owe it to yourself, take my word for it. Play some Defender, you'll be hooked. There's a sequel called Defender 2 on the Atari 2600. It was originally called Stargate, which I reviewed here on Classic Game Room already. But enough talking. It's time to get back and play some more Defender. And you should do the same thing. And when you're done playing Defender, go grab a beer and watch John Carpenter's They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper. You'll never look at sunglasses the same way again.